What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown Podcast. As always, I am your host, Michael, alongside the man of the hour, Mr. I guess on your screen you'll see it here, Mr. Jeff himself.
What's up, everybody?
As always, Big Deadly Grin up here, or down here, I guess I should say. Yeah, right there. Mr. Evan.
Where are we?
Dude, y'all, that, for everybody that doesn't know, podcast goes out on Tuesdays. Retrospects go out on Wednesdays. And if you're still here from before, that was a really, really fun retrospect. I really enjoyed that one a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Absolutely.
I was a little bit scared just because I never talked to the guy. I didn't really know much about him.
I'm so annoyed.
He really helped with keeping the conversation flowing. There was a lot more questions that I, didn't realize I was going to have.
Right.
So points to you, Jeff. That was really good, man. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
I do what I do, man.
Hell yeah. Now everybody, thank you. This is the Rundown Podcast where three guys, we sit around the internet and we go over the gaming news for the week, everything nerdy. Today we have everything from Josef Fares promising to pay $1,000 to anyone who gets bored of its Takes-Two video game. Bungie commits to a long-term development of Destiny 2, and Valheim breaks player records, and all that and a whole lot more. I promise we have a whole lot more to talk about today. But before we get into any of that, peeps, Homo sapiens, how was your week?
Evan, you want to start out?
Sure. It was good.
He got to
like
spend a lot of
half
time with his fellow Twizzler.
Yeah. It was half good, I'd say. Work sucks. I hate it. I had to fix an issue, so I had to go in early Friday, but I fixed it not as good as it could have been. So it's like, best case, second best case, and then and I was like, we're not going to get best case. We're going to get this one. So it worked out exactly how I said it would, because I'm better than all of them. Gaming side and outside of work, it's been really good, actually, dude. Twizzler and I did a 12-hour fucking Division stream. We've been doing a lot of shit in the Division.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you guys.
I love it. I
Dude,
could not thank Evan more for what we've been doing on that game.
I have a new skill build, and it's amazing.
That he may or may not have copied from another guy that we ran with, some rando.
I did, and it was so worth it. It was so worth it. It's so good.
So
you'll have to see it.
We did the 12-hour charity stream. Evan and I, we ran from 7 to 7, and we probably about the 5-hour mark, 4 or 5 hour mark, 4 or 5 in the morning. We decided to do something on heroic. So we jumped in a heroic mission. We got matchmake with these two other guys, and there was this guy running this awesome chem launcher build. And Evan's like, I love that. I want that. So me and him.
Wait, Evan's running chem launcher now?
Dude. So think of just 10 bad guys, right? And all of them have 5 status effects going on at one time.
I would just never picture you as a chem launcher build guy.
I have the chem launcher and
Scorpio, and I don't know what your other one is. I don't know what your second skill is.
Fuck, I don't either.
Pulse?
Yeah, I'm pulse. Yeah.
Pulse.
I got the pulse because I got the vial. I got the mat. So when people are under status effects, so when I pulse them, it does more damage.
No.
It's crazy. It's amazing.
Okay.
So without me knowing, or I think honestly without either of us knowing, I was like this dude's running through guys. I'm gonna copy his build. So I'm sitting here. I go to inspect his build. I'm snapping pictures of this guy's build, and I'm like, so. Evan, just so you know, I've got pictures of this guy's build. I'm going to run through it and see what I can do. And Evan's like, oh, don't worry about it, man. I snap pictures too. I was like, so we're both mocking this guy's build. I haven't done anything with it. But he's been...
I happen to have everything that I needed too, so it worked out.
Critiquing it over the past couple of days. And it's to the point, honestly, just think about this. Evan hits them with the skills. They have all these different status effects. I get in with the chatterbox. And you know how it has the stacks of RPM where it just goes faster and faster. So I just decimate them as he's steadily just putting the status effects so they're either shocked or on fire, or poisoned, and we just run through it.
And if one guy dies by the status effect, everybody around him in a radius gets all those status effects.
Yeah. We did quite a few levels of the summit on heroic with just me and him.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So no, it was pretty great.
Cool. Yeah. So gaming side, everything's been good. Just sad the weekend's over for me.
I know, man. For real. Like, I still have a whole nother week. And I'm gonna be bored because you're gonna be at work.
I mean, we can do our morning streams if you want.
Jeff, what you got going on, man?
All right, noted.
So not a whole lot. I mean, I've been running the division with you guys a little bit. Still chipping away at the Gears 5 campaign, which is really, really fun. I enjoy that one a lot. Which is another like my boost into mouse and key on the solo side. So I'm embracing it a little bit more than I would normally.
How do you feel about mouse and key now, as opposed to how you felt about it when you started?
I'm a lot more comfortable now, knowing that like a lot of games are still keyed in the same way. I'm not too opposed to it, because now that like most of the time I play Division, it's on mouse and key.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like that, and Remnant is kind of like molded me to be like a bit better of a mouse and key player.
Yeah, because most of the time the struggle really comes from the keyboard. But like,
yeah, mouse is fine. Like it's the grainy hand, right? Like, so I'm developing that part. But Gears 5, like if you guys haven't played it, it's so fucking fun. I love the game. The story is a little weird, but I'm having a really good time. Still want to jump back into Remnant, do that second part of the DLC at some point. But
I'm about to go in there by myself and just kill that boss.
Yeah, no, it's just it's just money's a thing. Weird. But that we've been dabbling in some Battlefield, which has been really fun. It's good to play a familiar game with an extra challenge on top of it. Like I'm used to the game, right? Like I know how the mechanics work, but adjusting those to how mouse and key correspond with each other is fucking crazy. So I've been doing that. I did my first Deep Stone Crypt raid on Destiny 2 last Sunday, right after last podcast.
How long did it take y'all to beat that?
A little bit longer than normal. It's about an hour raid. It took us probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But just because we had a couple newbies in there, I was one of them.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, we're used to running raids for like 9 to 12 hours, so that's pretty good.
Exactly. So I had a really good time with that. I got 2 leg pieces, an arm piece, and the hand cannon. The hand cannon is pretty dope. It's the art damage 180 archetype, which is really fun. So I've been running that. What else have I been doing? I think that's about it as far as gameplay wise. Other than that, like I've been kind of taking like a little bit of I wouldn't say sabbatical, but like I just been chilling out on streaming just because like just taking like a mental health week, just new job position is still a thing, right? So like I'm still trying to adapt to that and still make sure that my mind is good enough for a stream. So I'm
that's kind of where I'm at. I'm hoping this new shift change for me, I hope with being on an actual schedule, getting some sunlight, I'll actually have the energy to do things, because I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like I wake up and 20 minutes later, like I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted. Like you know how they did that 5-hour energy drink when it's like, oh, you got that 2:30 p.m. crash or whatever, or like 2:30 feeling. It's like, dude, that 2:30 feeling hits me at like 10:45. Like, so I've had to taper away from streaming for a little bit. But in the next week or two, the stream is going to amp up significantly, and I'm super excited about. We're doing new, better backdrops, better lighting, upgrading PC stuff, mouse and key, fucking I got some emotes on the way. Wink, wink. Just doing everything that I can to make sure that my stream is better for everyone that comes in. So, other than that, yeah, it's been a pretty fun week as far as gaming side. So,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you were able to get through that raid.
yeah, that raid was super fun. If you're a Destiny player and you're at that light level, I highly suggest doing the Deepstone Crypt. It's a 1250 soft cap. They get you in there. And then I was 1260 by the end of it. So good stuff. Michael, what have you been doing, dude? Tell us about your week of gaming.
I have devoted my life and well-being to Evan. No, I've been gaming with Evan a lot more. It's been pretty awesome.
Most people usually do.
I hate it.
No, you and it's like I told you, not to get into too much of it, but like I told you off stream, mental health is important. And it's like I tell everybody else in the world, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. And I will always stick by that. So while Jeff was taking some him time, Evan and I were, like I said, we were able to just play together, grind through the division, having a lot of fun with it. I'm so glad that me and him got back into it. I forgot how much I really love that game. I'm super glad that we actually have a story for that in the articles today.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, do we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's exciting.
We do. This will probably be news to you, but it's kind of something Evan and I have already went over. But I mean, like I said, it's pretty much just gaming with Evan. We've just been playing the division. Other than that, on the outside of gaming world, I kind of have a job again. So from last week, everybody heard that I got laid off. They laid off 51,000 employees. But they called me back and said that they have hours available, but they can only bring me back part-time. So since the resumes and everything aren't biting, I need a job, and a part-time job is better than no job, obviously. So I'm going to take it, but I'm still going to be putting in other applications. I'm still going to be looking for whether it's other places or other work-to-home places, things like that. But I still have something. So I still get my discount. Yay.
Hey, that's all I'm worried about.
Yay for us.
Right, exactly. So I still have all of that. This will be my last week. Last week and this week were both PTO weeks, so I still get paid for the past 2 weeks that I've been off. So essentially, it's just been like kind of a vacation.
So if anybody in chat's hiring,
for real. But yeah, no, that's been pretty much it. Chat, Evan, Jeff, y'all ready to get into the articles?
Let's do it.
I just want to point out that I evolved or devolved the mustache. Not really sure.
Evan, let me ask you a question. Do you think there's anything wrong with his mustache?
Does it look a little different?
Does it look different to you at all?
Is it more cop? Like
it's more in front of your mouth.
It looks like a mustache. Like it doesn't look anything different.
It's more police officer, right?
I don't know. Do cops these days have like rules on their mustache?
What's
or
up, John Reeves?
Yeah, they can't go outside the corners of the mouth.
Okay.
Which is like
it doesn't matter how down it goes.
Yeah, I'm breaking rules if I was a cop. But hey, if you guys are wondering, I'm not a cop.
I wish you were a cop. Number one on our story of list today is Josef Fares promises $1,000 to anyone who gets bored of It Takes Two by Natalie Clayton. It Takes Two is the next game from a Way Out developer, Hazelight Studios, who has gone gold. Okay? Remember that, Jeff, because I'm going to get into that in a second. It's gone gold, and Josef Fares is so confident in its success that he will give you $1,000 if you get bored of it. At least that's what the Notorious studio director told Game Informer in a recent interview. Fares, who's perhaps better known as the Fuck the Oscar guys, made the bullish claim that it's impossible to get bored with his next game, which follows a little girl dealing with her parents' divorce by playing with magical dolls. That's and this is a quote from him. That's another thing that I can guarantee you with It Takes Two. It's impossible, and quote me on this, to get tired of this game. Fares told Outlet, you can put this as the headline. I can literally give you $1,000 to anyone who says, "Oh, I'm tired of this game now," because it doesn't surprise me. $1,000, I guarantee. I'll give it to everyone who gets tired, but they have to be honest about it. Oh my goodness. We need to fix the problem that people are not even finishing games anymore. People are not even finishing half the games that they play nowadays. Listen to how sick this is. It's so sick that developers and publishers are literally focusing on the first piece of the game because they know that's what people will play. That's a mass psychosis going on. I don't know about y'all, but I love this man. I think this man is amazing. I think that if this was any other person in this world, I'd be like, oh, that guy's kind of a douchebag. But it's fucking Josef Fares. He's only released 2 games in his gaming career, and that's A Brother of Two Sons, and A Way Out. Both of those games have been remarkable. Both of those games have done something that a lot of other games haven't done. With
not announced that they were fucking gold.
Huh?
They didn't announce that they were gold.
I said the games. Hold your horses.
No,
I said the
yeah,
games.
that's what I'm saying. Like the game itself. Like they were like,
no.
hey,
Hold
gold.
your horses. Let me finish.
Oh,
You'll know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Man, already
The game A Tale of Two Sons had it to where you were playing as 2 people at the same time, based on what side of the controller that you were using. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2 was if you played A Way Out, only one person had to buy that game in order for you to play co-op in the game. Which, hell yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Like no other game has ever done that before.
Yeah, for sure.
The story was super cool. I enjoyed it. You got a couple different endings depending on who you played as. So I thought that was really fun. As far as going gold, sure, you can take going gold for what you will with publishers like EA or Naughty Dog or Activision or Insomniac or Santa Monica. The list goes on and on. But this is Josef Fares we're talking about. Like, the man's the shit. Like, whatever he says, I'm with it. Like, if the game's gold, the game's ready to go. And the type of game that it is, it can't really, like, you can't really screw too much up with it. And I'm going to prove it to you. When the game comes out, I promise you, it'll be perfectly fine.
You said if it's gold, it's ready to go?
It's ready to ship, yeah.
Cyberpunk went gold.
Yeah, but think of the type of game that Cyberpunk is to this 2D scroller, or it's not 2D, it's more of a 3D game. But, like, this is going to be more like A Tale of Two Sons or A Tale of Two Brothers, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Than some 100 gigabyte download Cyberpunk is.
Right, but is it though?
It is.
But is it gold though?
It is gold. Because the game's not like Uncharted or Cyberpunk. Like, those games are going to constantly need patches. This game is nowhere graphically top scaled like those games are.
It's not, but I mean, the fact that it went gold, it doesn't make it.
I think the whole like going gold announcement should just like not be a thing.
All that means is that it's ready to ship.
I will say though that
the
game does look awesome.
Yeah,
I think it looks like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be probably the next PC game that I buy. So Evan, if you would like to jump on that, I think it'd be super cool.
Jump on what?
They're gonna be like, so if you guys could not make fun of it.
It Takes Two.
Oh, you want me to get it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, I do kind of want to get it. I was trying to see if Sarah wanted to play it with me, but if you have it, of course I'll play it. I think it looks fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like a casual thing that we play.
From the marketing standpoint, like I get it's a good looking game, right? I get it. But from a marketing standpoint, like how early is it too early to be like, oh, hey, our game's gold? You know what I mean? Like, hey, we can write this disc, we can put it on physical copies, and we can mail it out to manufacturer or to retailers, and they can sell it to you for an exorbitant amount of money that's way higher than what it costs to make it. But we're ready, like it's good. Like know that. Like what is like so like if it goes gold, right? Like does that make it like a done game? Right? Like we've had this conversation before.
I think that all depends on the studio that you're talking about. Studios that say that their game have gone gold, you're going to have to take that with a grain of salt, depending on the studio that it is. I think with this studio, Hazelight, because their games aren't AAA title games that are going to have hundreds of thousands of people playing on their servers and shit like that, and they take time for their games, I do stand by them when they say that it's gone gold. Now, you give me Outriders that says it's going to go gold, or whenever they decide to say it's going to go gold, or
Outriders never went gold. They have a free-to-play demo. It's not even an alpha.
I'm excited for that.
But whenever they do decide to say that it's gone gold, or whatever AAA title in the future from those big name publishers say that they're ready to go gold, I'll take that with a grain of salt. But with Hazelight, I stand beside them all day long.
Yeah, but I'm excited for Outriders because it's not a big name studio. Like
what? Outriders?
Yeah. Who's hang on. Who's doing
this? Square Enix is the publisher.
Enix.
People Can Fly is the developer.
Yeah, developers People Can Fly.
Who the fuck has heard of People Can Fly? Have you heard of People Can Fly? Have you? No. So publishers' opinion on whether a game's gold or not is way different than the developer, right? So it's like, oh, hey, Square Enix is like, oh, yeah, it's ready.
Can I make a comment? Can I make a quick comment real quick?
Obviously.
Everyone has heard of People Can Fly.
I've never.
Yeah, dude. They did Bulletstorm.
They made Fortnite.
Yeah, so Epic is their parent organization. They did Bulletstorm. They did Gears of War Judgment. Yeah.
Do you understand why I've never heard of them?
No.
You said Fortnite? Fucking Fortnite is like your fucking anchor? Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying though,
it's $1 billion company, man. That's all I'm saying.
God.
That's more money than what the Rundown has.
It's more money than a lot of people have.
They did Gears of War 3 and 1 and 2.
Oh, look at there.
Listen, we're not talking about then. We're talking about now. Okay. No, I mean like the whole going gold thing is like I hate that term.
Okay. All right. So let's settle this once and for all. What is your definition of going gold? I don't care what the technical definition of it is. What is Jeff, not going to say your last name, definition of it?
I'm Hefe Plays live on Twitch. No, I'm just kidding. No, so like a definition of going gold is like the game is 100% done, right? Like there's no bugs, no nothing. It's ready to be printed on the discs and shipped out to retailers, right? Like that's my definition of gold. Like just it's done. Like there's no.
Yeah, I feel like it should just be called "It's ready to ship." You know, like when I think gold, I guess I think of it as like from like a music standpoint. Like it reaches a threshold, and it's been certified gold.
Exactly. Like it's like it's done. Question mark. But like there's stuff that might be added later. Like that's to me like that's what they think that the definition of gold is now.
So the definition of gold to a video game company is that a game is ready to be printed on a disc. That is the technical definition for what a video game industry uses.
I don't like that. It goes against my way of thinking, I guess.
Exactly. No, and I agree with you. I do. I agree with you completely.
That's so bad, dude. Like how?
It's kind of dumb.
From a market, like not even a marketing, but like a business standpoint, how can you get behind something that's like it's ready? Like okay, like okay, the cookies are ready, but like, do you like a crunchy cookie or do you like a soft baked cookie?
Soft.
Okay, yeah, but okay, so imagine, okay, so they're like, oh, hey, we have these cookies, right? And then you're like, oh, fuck yeah, these cookies sound awesome. They have all the ingredients in them I love, and I can't wait to fucking sink my teeth into them, and I'm gonna lick the fucking asshole of them, and right, and then you get them, and
Was
you're
it
expecting,
bleached?
I don't know, but you get that one, right? And then they're fucking crunchy, right? How do you unbake a cookie? You can't fucking unbake a cookie, dude. You have to redo it.
Not true. If you stick a cookie in the microwave, it gets pretty soft then.
No, Michael, no. That is not how this works.
Number 2 on our stories today, Valheim breaks concurrent player records again. The massive success of Valheim continues with Iron Gate's A/B exploration and survival game launched less than 3 weeks ago, but the title has already become an instant hit. The co-founder behind Valheim's development team is humbled by what has transpired, as such skyrocketing success can be rare in gaming. Valheim seems to break its own milestones on a near daily basis, and that is again the case with its concurrent player count. Just a few days ago, Valheim posted a peak concurrent player count of 391,325 on Steam. That number was more than Grand Theft Auto 5, PUBG, and Apex Legends. Recently, Valheim smashed past those numbers yet again as it continues to be one of the most popular games in the world. One of the things that helps Valheim find success is that the gratifying game to stream and watch. There are plenty of content creators too enjoying playing Valheim through Twitch, YouTube, and other popular streaming platforms. Very similar to games like Minecraft, Rust, DayZ, or Ark Survival Evolved being popular to stream, Valheim provides the ability for content creators to share all sorts of styles, whether that be tips on the game or simply having fun with the community while playing long sessions. What do y'all think about all the hype that this game is getting?
It's getting a lot of hype for an alpha. But
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Early access, I mean, it is pretty fun. Like I said, like, because you and I were in a call, we've been gaming all night, and then I fired it up, and I was like, let's check this out. And then you go to bed, and then like 4 hours later, Sarah walks in, and I was like, oh fuck.
I fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, God damn it, dude! I didn't mean to stay up this late.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Can I ask
I
kind of
mean-
a personal question, real quick, Evan?
I guess.
This is just curiosity here, but did she ever like get on to you about being up that late all night or anything like that?
No,
No?
she knows I work overnight, so she knows I'm used to I'm used to being awake.
But she's
all
not ever
night.
like, oh, honey, you need your sleep. You know. anything
Yeah, because like when the kids lived with us, you know, it was I had to alternate my sleep schedule every weekend and then alternate it back. And it was a really big pain in the ass. So no, plus she knows I'm going to first shift, so she has that to look forward to.
there you go. Because she's on first shift too,
I was
right?
about to ask, is she on first shift?
Yep. So our hours will be a little skewed because like she doesn't start till like 7:30. I have to start at like 5. So, but yeah, we'll at least see each other more, so that's cool. I'll actually be able to make a streaming schedule. Like I can go to work, come home,
Yeah.
do that.
We can hang out more.
Yeah, as long as you're not part-timing while I'm trying to
Part-timing
game.
just means that like I have more time.
As long as you're
I
not
hope so.
part time while he's full timing, I guess is what he's saying.
So Valheim.
So do you consider that like a legitimate out like a release? Like do you think that like there's more that is going to build up and then actually put in the actual release instead of like
Yeah, so I read last night that it's going to be in early access for at minimum a year. So for at least a year, it'll be in early access. But that also depends on the feedback from the players and the amount of content that they decide to put into the game.
Hmm. I should just
and-
get you guys to play fucking Star Citizen if that's the case.
Yeah, because they said that it's maybe like they even gave percentages. It was like
50%. So
50% of the story or the
the
yeah,
content.
50% of something's done.
Yeah.
They only have like 5 out of the 9 regions or whatever they call it biomes in the game right now. They're going to be adding more weapons, more enemies, and all that stuff. So they are adding content, and to the point that the price on it might go up
So
after they do so.
50% of the story is done, and 75% of the content is done.
Yeah. And that's just based off their current numbers.
Mhm.
Depending on the feedback, those numbers could be lower.
But like, my question is, why?
Why what?
Why put out a game in early access that's not
So when
done?
they do that, it kind of helps shape it with the community, I guess. You know?
I mean, I guess. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's taken off, and like a lot of people are into it, and they're having a good time. Like, I don't want to take away from that at all.
I mean, it's essentially like the greasy site, you know, like you have the concept, you have the main thing, and then you put it out there, you get feedback from people, and then you just build from that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the game, I haven't had any issues. I didn't have any crash issues. I didn't have any glitch issues. I didn't really experience anything bad about the
that
game.
That right there is what I'm talking about when I say that when it comes to the small time studios, because if I read it correctly, it was like a 5-person studio that did this game. That is why when it comes to these smaller studios, it does not scare me anywhere near when they say that they've gone gold as it does to a AAA studio saying that they've gone gold, was because you have a 5-person team working on a game that is 50% complete, 50 to 75% complete, and you had no crashes, no problems. You had fun for about 4 to 5 hours. I think it's super awesome. Granted, it's not necessarily the type of game that I necessarily want to play. I still think it's pretty cool.
I just hate the term.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. Like you explore, and then the more you do, and like you kill different big bosses, you unlock different materials. So you could start doing like castles and shit, and you can make boats. So like you make a raft and then a boat, and then like you can do long ships, and it's cool because you can play with up to 9 other people at the same time. So you could all just run around and just murk shit like crazy.
Yeah. And what is it? $20?
$20.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was sitting there, I played for like 4 hours, and most of that time I would make a house, and then I'd find something I didn't like about it, or I needed to add something inside of it, so I'd fucking tear a lot of it down and then fucking build it. It's really therapeutic just building all that shit.
Right.
And I like that I don't eat something, and I don't, like, if I eat something, I don't get fucking poisoned. The sun isn't fucking killing me. Like, I don't have to drink water. So like you can eat food,
like
but I don't think it hinders you if you really don't.
Does that hurt you if you don't eat vegetables?
Yeah, I've had nothing but like meat and berries the whole time. But yeah, I mean, so far it's a really cool game, and I'd like to play with other people.
It looks fun. It's just like it's not like, as much as I love playing games with you, I can't justify myself buying that.
Right.
Just because of that.
Based off the list of games that it's similar to, I hate 2 of those games. Don't like Minecraft, and I don't like Ark. So, but I like this one.
See,
I mean, I'll let it roll out.
I really like Is it DayZ? DayZ or like State of Decay? One of those.
State of Decay is probably more what you're thinking about. Because DayZ is like a battle royale type shit.
Okay, so then yeah, like State of Decay, like that one's super fun to me.
Which I have State of Decay too. It's on Xbox Game Pass for free. You can download it.
Insert plug here.
Here, wherever you can plug it, wherever we'll do it in post edit. But yeah, you can do that, and it's I'm excited to jump into it at some point.
Moral of the story is Evan enjoyed it. I'm against it. How do you feel about it?
Could care less. It's another game like that's like Raft or The Forest or whatever.
And this is where I'm dumb as fuck, is because for whatever reason, that game looks super fun to me, and I don't know why. No, Forest I enjoyed. The Forest was fun. Raft.
So when I go to Valheim, it literally is like similar to the Forest, and I'm like, all right, I have the Forest too, so I don't see what the deal is.
Well, it's like I guarantee what it's comparing itself to is like all these survival games, but every survival game that has been like created in the last 5 years, it's all been first person, and this is the only like third person survival game, right? So like that and State of Decay, but it's not going to compare itself to State of Decay because State of Decay is more popular. Like that's just like as far as like it getting into the nitty gritty, like that's what it's going to compare itself to is like the Raft, the Forest, the fucking whatever. Is what it is.
Rust, Ark Survival Evolved. Evan, I got a question for you.
Oh, that one too.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Waiting on Michael.
Are you ready for it? Do you have a favorite drummer?
Yeah, I got a few.
Like who?
He will not know him. I will. He won't.
Chris Turner is one. Plays for Ocean's 8 Alaska. Eric Imprada is another one. Plays for The Fever and Night Versus.
Okay, awesome, because my next question had nothing to do with that at all. How much did you love Control?
What the fuck?
I love it so much that I bought it twice.
Nice. Control developer Remedy just had a record financial year without even releasing a game.
I saw that.
Controlling the Controlling the Cash Flow by Matt Purslow. Remedy more than doubled its operating profit in 2020, achieving a record financial year despite releasing no games. According to the company's latest financial report for the 12 months ending December 31st, 2020, full year revenue is up by 30% at a $41.1 million. Operating profit comes in at a $13.2 million, over twice the $6.5 million achieved during 2019. These figures make 2020 a record-breaking landmark year for the Finnish developer. This was all done without a new game release. Instead, success has come via the continued sales of Control. Remedy launched the game on additional platforms in 2020, such as Steam, Xbox Game Pass, and cloud services, and an Ultimate Edition was published by 505 Games that included a next-gen upgrade for console players. While no new games were released in 2020, Remedy did release expansions for Control, including AWE, which tied together the shared story threads between Control and Alan Wake. With a record year out of the way, Remedy is one for development-heavy 2021. The company recently secured a deal with Epic Games' new publishing label, with which it will produce a AAA game and a smaller scale project both for console and PC. Additionally, Remedy is also working with Smilegate on the single player campaign and Xbox exclusive shooter Crossfire X. We've already had a short look at what has been produced so far, and it appears that Remedy is going full Call of Duty on this one.
Everything sounded great until you said Xbox exclusive game.
And then Call of Duty.
Yeah, but if it's an Xbox exclusive game, it's going straight to Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't want to play Control on fucking PC if I've already played it on PS4.
Oh, dude, it's so much better on PC. That game's so good.
You say everything's better on PS4.
No, he says everything's better on PC.
Everything's better on PC, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, when you can get a fucking 120 frames per second, yeah, it kind of is.
But
well,
like,
plus you got that, like the mouse, dude. It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like,
but
go ahead.
Is that what they're basing their profit off? Is like people that downloaded the shit? What's their base margin of like? Oh, hey, we made money this year.
Yeah, because they added it to Steam and all that, and then
Steam, Xbox Game Pass, and cloud services, and they released an Ultimate Edition. So four different ones.
So
I got the Ultimate Edition on sale on Steam, I think it was.
So they literally created nothing, but the only revenue that they brought in was from
that's the whole point of the game, or that's the whole point of the story, was this company made a profit without ever releasing a game.
That's crazy, dude.
And it's an older game at that. Yeah. It's been out for a few years now.
Yeah. I mean, like, I enjoyed the game. Like, it was fine. It's a little weird, but
it's super weird. I love it.
It's different. I will give it that.
Yeah. It's definitely a puzzler type thing, but yeah.
So we all agree that, or at least I like to think that we do. We all agree that
we don't agree on shit.
It's pretty awesome that they were able to do that.
Yeah.
To have an older game come out the way that they did, and make a profit. But my big question, and Jeff, did you beat this game?
Mm-mm.
No, he didn't. Okay, so I guess maybe kind of help with this, but I know Evan and I both did. Where does the game go from here? Do they make a sequel, or do they just make something completely different? Like,
Prequel.
I don't know. It's such a weird story that I feel like they could go further with it,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I feel like they also don't need to. I'd be fine with either decision, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, like, I feel like a prequel would probably be more of a fitting thing than like trying to continue the story further, but like maybe backtracking to like why this exists, or like, like a little bit more of a backstory to it than what we were given.
yeah, it's a pretty crazy story. It gets really insane.
And see, that's kind of what I was thinking too, Jeff. Was I was kind of iffy about it when after I beat the game, but I don't think I think you have to go and beat the DLC before you can truly kind of say whether or not
Right.
where the story needs to go from here.
Yeah.
Because I
That
think
Yeah,
the DLC
I might actually
had
go
a
back and finish
lot,
it.
because the DLC had a lot to do with that story, and it really kind of, because once I beat the game, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I would like to see this in the game, and I think they should go this route, and so on and so forth. But then you play the DLC, and then everything I just talked about was right there in the fucking DLC. With whether it's her relationship with her brother, or wherever the case may be.
All right. Well, hey, don't get too far because like I didn't finish it, so
No, just her and her brother. That's all.
Yeah, so I rebought it on PC, and I do want to beat it again. And then I'm pretty sure I got the Ultimate Edition, so it should have all the DLCs attached to it.
yeah, it was on PS Now after I already played it on, or not. It was on PS Now when I played it, and now it's on PS or PlayStation Plus or whatever. So I re-added it to the library. So I might play it again. I don't know. We'll see.
You said it's on Game Pass, right? You can just play it on PC.
No, not on Game Pass, fucker. It was on PS Now.
And see, y'all both have something I don't have, which gives y'all's gaming a notch up better than mine, which is y'all both have gaming monitors. I don't. I have editing monitors. So while
It's the same fucking monitor. Dude.
No, it's not. Mine graphically looks better, but yours is going to have that motion rate, that frames per second, and that response time is going to be 10 times better than mine. No.
Well, get on our level, dude. Shit.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Whoa, sorry.
It's on Game Pass. You can play it.
There we go. Sorry, everybody. I hit a button by accident. Speaking of Xbox,
I just saw that.
yeah, my bad. Sorry, I threw the paper down and apparently clicked my mouse. I apologize. Next story on the list, since we're already talking about Game Pass, Xbox's frames per second boost brings 60 frames per second all the way to 120 frames per second for backwards compatibility game boost on Xbox X and Series X. An older generation gets new life. This is from Samuel Tolbert. In the lead up to the release of the Xbox Series X and Series S in the 2020, Microsoft detailed enhancements being worked on for backward compatible titles, such as doubling frame rates on select titles. Now, this feature is being officially revealed on Xbox FPS Boost, enabling higher frame rates when playing certain backwards compatible games on Xbox Series X or S. The feature debuts with support for 5 games depending on the exact title. The frame rate can be doubled or even quadrupled with some games, such as new Super Lucky Tales, now running at 120 frames per second on the Xbox Series X and S. You can check out the initial batch of games here. Far Cry 4, new Super Lucky Tales, Sniper Elite 4, UFC 4, Watch Dogs 2. Oddly enough, Fallout 4, the game first shown using the feature in action back in 2020, is now among the first group of names. Though it's possible additional testing was required, the boost for UFC 4 was specified to Xbox Series S because of the Xbox One X version of the game, which is enabled on the Xbox Series X, already unlocked the frame rate. It's worth noting that you don't have to own the game to take advantage of this feature. It also works if the game is on Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft states that more games will be added to this frames per second boost very soon, while later in the spring, players will get a visual indicator that the game is being played with FPS boost, and will have the option toggling the feature on or off on a per-game basis as long as the title is being played. Supports FPS boost. This on and off toggle per game will also be added for the auto high dynamic range feature.
So before we go any further, I want to preface this entire thing with how big of a fucking dumbass I am.
Okay.
So like, I read the story
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the FPS thing and I was like, hey, that's weird. Why are they going to make all these games first-person shooters? And that has lingered with me for the last few days, and I was like, so okay, so like,
That's amazing.
How can we make UFC 4 a first-person shooter?
It's like, oh, cool. Like, there's gonna be blood drips on the screen,
whenever you...
or whatever. I was like, oh, dude, like, it's fucking. That's a weird step. But now it's frame rates per second. I was like, oh, okay,
So,
that adds up.
So this question, this is a little bit different. Jeff,
Yes.
I love you. I love
I
you
know.
enough to not have this argument. So Evan, how do you feel about this?
It's fair.
Like, how cool is it going to be to be able to go back and play a lot of these older games that we both tend to do now? I mean, especially since we have these subscriptions available to us to play these games that we loved, but now we can go back and play them at 120 frames per second.
Yep.
Like,
I think it's going to be awesome.
so, right. And so my question for both of you is, if you could go back and play any game but have it boosted to 120 frames per second, what would it be?
GoldenEye.
It's super funny that you said that, because I was reading a list of comments and somebody had said Perfect Dark, but no, I think that's awesome.
No, fuck Perfect Dark. GoldenEye.
Shadow the Colossus.
Oh, this motherfucker. I retract my previous statement.
What's your buddy? What you got for him, buddy?
Not GoldenEye.
What?
Shadows of the Empire.
Fucking
At
Star
100
See,
Wars.
I feel like if they
Star
were to do
Wars
that, I
bullshit.
would want like I want them to fix the controllers, right? Like modernize it, so that
Yeah.
way you can actually, like, if they remade Shadows of the Empire, I would be so happy.
Right, but you want it like, but imagine like if they just rebound the keys to keyboard, right? Like, and so you don't
Yeah,
have to-
so they have it on PC. You can buy it for PC. But yeah, if they remade it, I mean, that would make me so happy.
Oh God. Okay, sorry, I had to get that out. This was like, if I'm going to think of one game that I want to play at 120 frames per second that wasn't available to me in the last 20 years, that's it.
Yeah, I would say that's top. That's one of the top of my list right there.
Yeah, like it out of like the top 5, like Shadows of the Empire would be like 2 or 3 for sure. Minimum. Sorry.
No, I think that's awesome.
Because I was like GoldenEye, but I was like, oh, that game's like would suck even in whatever frame rate you put it at. But yeah, like 120 FPS for fucking Shadows. Oh, dude.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Hell yeah. Next
And
story.
actually, it's funny. Like, since I brought up Shadow of the Colossus, there is that new game coming out that might give me that satisfaction. So I'm pretty excited about that. The Pray for the Gods.
Yeah.
Shit looks dope.
Has anyone tried Phoenix Immortal Rising?
It's okay.
Okay, cool. Just wondering.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't dislike it.
There's so many games that I want to play, But y'all know how it is when you get hooked on one game, like you don't want to play anything else but that game. And that's kind of how I am right now with the Division until I get to a point to where like I've beaten the story with Faye now, which pissed me off.
Oh,
By the
you
way.
kill her?
Fuck
Yeah,
that,
we got her.
Fuck that damn
Damn,
story.
motherfucker, dude.
Fuck that story.
Bad.
We did it. We did it twice.
So all I'm gonna say is that you don't get a cutscene, and I'm mad.
How do you not get a fucking cutscene?
Exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
You get nothing,
You
dude.
get nothing. You kill her, and that's done. You're done. That's it.
So what the fuck is the point of finishing it out?
I don't know, but let's go into that story. The Division 2 Ubisoft Massive confirms more content is planned for 2021. Title Update 12 was meant to be the last one for the Division by Adam Bankhurst. The Division 2's Title Update 12 was meant to be the last title update for the game, but Ubisoft has changed its mind and has confirmed that more content is on the way later this year. Ubisoft Massive posted a message for the Division 2 team on Reddit saying that this new content is due to your continuous passion and support. Today, we're thrilled to confirm that there will be additional content for the Division 2 release later this year. It is your continuous passion and support which enables us to continue to build upon the Division 2 experience, and we cannot thank you enough for that. Ubisoft Massive wrote, some of you had noticed that the Title Update 12 was originally meant to be the last major title update for the Division 2, but thanks to your continued support, we are now in the early stages of development for the fresh content to release later in 2021. While no details were revealed as to what this content may be, Ubisoft promised we won't have to wait long. This is great news for fans for Division 2, especially those who are returning to the game or trying for the first time since its 4K 60 frames per second next-gen update arrived for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Ubisoft Massive, alongside working with updates for Division 2, is also developing both an Avatar game and the recently announced open Star Wars project. So all I'm going to say to that is that ever since Evan asked me to play this game with him, which I'm so glad he did because I have been bitten by that Division 2 bug, is that I've had so much fun. I want to continue playing it. I want to continue collecting everything. But that, and I've loved the game. I'm not going to lie. I have loved the game and everything that they have done ever since the Division 1. You know, I don't care about their stupid E3 fuck up. The story has been great for me. I've loved it. But I am super disappointed with the way that this Fei Lao story ended. Like you couldn't give me a
they could have done more
cutscene. You couldn't give me nothing.
You guys tell me that just like that little part makes me very uninterested in anything they have to go with forward. Because like all that means is like it's just going to be a bunch of like open-ended content that's useless. And every single season has been that way up until this one, because like it was all like an overall encompassing thing to get to Fei Lao, right? Like because Fei Lao was the bad guy at the end of Warlords. So for you to put out 3 expansions or 4 expansions with a bad guy at each one or at the end of each one to get to her, and then for me to go through all that shit, and then for you to finally fight her and then to kill her and there to be nothing is so dissatisfying. Like I don't
on you.
Yeah, I don't even want to fucking do it, dude.
Dude, I just fucking realized that Pray for the Gods game is in early access on Steam, and I just bought it.
Yeah, you did.
So, I mean, I'm definitely not going to go as far as to say that, but it really, really sucks. There's a lot of people that aren't happy about it. Yeah. I still know that there's a lot for me left that I want to do personally with the exotics, and they have the Hollywood event that drops tomorrow. I still want to finish out the season. It really does suck. But I'm just hoping and praying because I like to try and stay positive about it. I like to hope and think that they will realize that they fucked up and realize and see that the community is upset with how they ended this Fei Lao and make it up to us with any future content that they do provide.
Well, this is Ubisoft, so like they'll acknowledge it, and then they'll fix it in like a game like a year or two from now. Like, oh hey, like
It'll
yeah,
be some
like
sort of like Easter egg.
yeah, like oh yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
oh hey, do you guys remember like whenever they got mad about like the Fei-Lao storyline? Do you guys want to put like a Fei-Lao like gravestone or like
Some writing on the wall, some type
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
or some shit and like
Yeah.
just that thing, like that's how Ubisoft works, which sucks. Like, because I love Ubisoft as a company,
Mm-hmm.
but like
My
this is so disappointing. And like
my
I'm kind of upset that you guys told me about it, but like I'm glad that you did because I'm like
my
I want to play
biggest
it.
question to this is why though? Like, why not have a cutscene? Like, like everybody was waiting for this. Like,
Yeah.
you've grinded out all of this work. Like, what is your reasoning for not putting even a 10-second cutscene for something?
This was a year before. Like you've had a
Right.
year to plan this out to make a
Right.
cutscene for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
No. Yeah.
what?
That's-
I'd like not even a recording, not a fucking the audio collectible thing that has somebody
No. So when you buy Division 3, there's going to be an audio collectible where it's like, oh, Faye's like, oh yeah, that was me. Oh God, they're here. I'm dead.
Right, yeah, something.
That's what you get.
So that's unfortunately what happened.
I think you need to go in there though, because you get that new Achilles pulse.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, you're fine.
Yeah.
You get it at the beginning of the mission too, so you could just go in and get it.
Yeah. Guys, that about wraps it up for us today. It is hitting 9:29. We do have to let Bid Daily grin so he can get to work and do his government job.
It's not a government job.
We're very thankful for all 7 of you that have stayed and hung out with us and got to hear about the nerdy stories of today. Just a couple of different things that I want to go over real quick, and I promise we will raid out of here and let everyone go. As soon as I get to the page that it's on, give me just 2 seconds. First thing that I want to go over with, if of course you already know, but I'm just gonna go ahead and hit you up with it again. The Rundown Podcast is partnering with Extra Life. We are raising money for the Medical University of South Carolina Children's Hospital to help bring awareness and pay for any bills / medical supplies / funding that they may need help with, because their hospital was opened up during the pandemic, COVID-19. Like I said, if you can't donate, that's completely fine. We're not mad about it or upset in any way, shape, or form. We really just want to get the word out there. So please, the link is in the chat, or if you are a YouTube watcher / listener, the link will be in the description down below. And for all of you audio listeners out there, it is extralife.com/rundown podcast.
It's actually .org.
.org, excuse me. Sorry, thank you. Extralife.org. I thought it was, but I was like, hold on, maybe it's not. Let me go ahead and go back.
Technically, it's extra-life.org/rundown podcast.
Also, if you're a PlayStation player, the PlayStation games for this month are Destruction All-Stars, Control Ultimate Edition, and Concrete Genie are going to be all of your free games for PlayStation Plus this month. And I think that is about everything. Don't forget to check us out here on twitch.com/Rundown Gaming Podcast every Sunday at 7 p.m. For all of you audio and YouTube listener watchers out there, videos will go up every Tuesday and Wednesday. I am your host, as always, Twizzler803 with 1Z. Over here in my bottom right-hand corner is going to be I Am the Hefe Plays. And on my bottom left-hand corner, that is going to be Bid Deadly Grin. And thank you all for joining us. And
thank you.
We will see you next
week.
week.